Hey, it's Wednesday, February 26th, 2020. And it's the Pro and Con Show, and I'm your host, Michael James Ott. After a brief respite here, so doing this on the 26th to cover a few days, travel, and then spending a little bit of time with some family. So there's a couple things. I want to emphasize to folks the Independence Day thing. So we need to pledge to each other to be better citizens. So just the other day I was in Walmart and headed down an aisle, and there was another couple coming the other way, and they were talking to looking at some things on the other aisle, and I had left a cart behind, and the fellow's like, you can, we're not going to be there any minute, you don't have to rush. And I appreciated his chivalry. But I also said to him, look, I'm going to move that card right away. We need to be better to each other. Okay, sir? We need to be better to each other. And I'm here to pledge to you right here and now. I'm doing that. And I appreciate your kindness and, your compassion. And he said, well, thank you. And we just had a quick moment there where we, agreed to be nicer to each other. And I think in these very traumatic, polarized times, boy, please take every opportunity you have to talk to anybody and be a kinder, gentler American. It's really important. And so the Independence Day thing is that opportunity formalized to whatever extent it gets formalized by me announcing it and asking people to spread the word. So what is the idea? On July the 4th, everybody has the 4th off. Almost everybody has the 4th off in the United States. Take that day, and at 10 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Mountain, noon Central Time, and 1 p.m. Eastern, wherever you are, stop. Go out to the streets, go out to the center of the roads, or out in your neighborhood or the shopping area where you're at or whatever, and just stop people and say, hey, I pledge to you I'm going to be a better citizen this year. I'm going to try to do more. I'm going to try to be more involved. I'm going to try to understand things better than I have in the past. And I'm pledging to you, and I'm hoping that you will do the same. That you will, with respect, the respect I'm showing you and the country, I hope that you will have that same respect and go out and, share the day, share some moments with people in the street for about an hour. Just talk to people that you run into and say, hey, I'm here for you. I'm an American, and I'm here for you, my fellow Americans. We're going to do a better job together. Let's do that going forward. Now, the name of the show today is called News, and the reason why I bring it up, often I look at these 5 different websites, so let's just look at them very quickly here today. So the Huffington Post, and then CNN, and then NPR, Fox News, and finally Breitbart. So why did I pick them? Well, they represent the gamut of right-leaning, left-leaning, and more centrist. And it's informative. It helps me anyway, and would help you in gathering information and helping to filter out the bias, because you can see how these polarized sources of information present the same news, if you will, with a different spin, with a different take. Sometimes ignoring things entirely, and sometimes only presenting partial, half the story, the part of the story that lends credence to their viewpoint. And some of it is just as subtle as, because unfortunately a lot of us were pretty lazy Americans, and so if you have the part of the story that supports your general viewpoint, or something that you want to have happen, and you put that in the top half of the story, and then you put the opposing views, if you will, in the second half, a lot of times people won't read all the way down. And so by virtue of just understanding that the average person is kind of lazy, fortunately, that's, they have that influence, even though they can say, well, we put all the information in the article. The way that they do it, and some of the word choices that they do, or where the information is located on the page, this can have a huge impact. And what is the importance of the news these days? Well, so one of the two things watch out for. So one is these information channels, they're just owned by people, okay? Huge. They, Robert Murdoch is one, Michael Bloomberg who's one of the candidates for the Democratic nomination at the moment. They have these websites. Sometimes they have literally television channels, cable TV channels that they're running, and they're running them in theory to make some money, but often not so really caring about whether or not they make money, but are they promoting the agendas that they want to have? Are they influencing you and I in the way that they want to do it? And it's big money basically allows these people to do this kind of thing, and that's why boy, it's so important. It's just so important for all of us to step back and take some extra time, take some extra effort, take some extra consideration, and think about this information that's coming to us and how it's being covered. And it's really important, actually. So, again, not to try to influence things here, but I do want to mention one specific thing here. So, War on Truth takes a dangerous turn. You see that in the title there above Mr. Trump. So Mr. Trump, because of who he is, he really is totally unaccepting of anything negative said about him. And so he just labels everything, if anything negative is said about him or his opinion or his policies or anything like that, it's instantly fake news. And so the main thing I would like to talk about right now is this potential pandemic with the coronavirus. Now, we have no idea how bad that's eventually going to get. I suspect because people apparently can transmit that even though they don't even know that they have it. They can be quote unquote sick with the virus and be able to transmit that virus even though they're asymptomatic at the moment. And that's dangerous, because what can very quickly happen is people can just go, this is a global community, and so they get on planes, trains, and automobiles, and they're infecting everyone wherever they go, and they don't even know it, because they don't even know that they have any issue until maybe 2, 3, 4 days later when they start having some symptoms. And so the truth is, so here's one of the things that Mr. Trump believes. He's like, he knows that the coronavirus thing is going to have some negative impact on the stock market. And he's very concerned about that, because basically he's pinned his whole economic talking points to the fact that the stock market has grown considerably while he's been president. And if that starts faltering, if that starts going down, then he's going to get hurt, okay, from the standpoint of getting reelected. And so he's making things up. He's telling people that the coronavirus is just naturally going to cure itself when the weather turns warm in April. Now, this is another thing where I've talked about, and I'm seeing more and more and more people talking about the fact that Mr. Trump has these mental health issues, and in that it's pretty apparent that he's on his way to I hate it. Now I'm having a senior moment. Come on. Oh, dementia. Yeah. So he's really causing some real issues. And in this particular case, if we don't take this very, very, very seriously, millions and millions and millions of people could be infected around the globe, and thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people could die because of the coronavirus. And to say, don't worry about it, it's going to go away when the weather turns warm in April, wow. That's a huge disservice. And again, this whole thing about labeling things as fake news, not believing, large groups of intelligent scientists, technical people, intelligence officers and stuff like that. It's really, really, really hurtful to our potential, to our future. So I just want to, again, the title of today's show is News. You got to be focused on figuring out. It takes extra effort to figure out what really is going on. And I beg you to be better citizens and to take that effort. Okay? All right, so for Wednesday, February 26th, 2020, I'm Michael James Ott again. This has been the Pro and Con Show. And until next show, bye for now.